You're listening to Traumedy, the podcast that helps you transmute your trauma with comedy and other art forms. We're expanding. There's so many ways to express. Cry. You can creatively cry. You could use tears to make a watercolor. I think that'd be creative. You could do poetry. You could sing. You can express yourself in so many ways. Comedy is one of my preferred ways to express trauma and transmute it into lightness and laughter. Don't get stuck down there in that heavy, dense victim energy. We've been victimized. All of us have. Yeah, you've been betrayed. You've been victimized, but don't get stuck down there. Acknowledge what happened and then find some way to laugh about it. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what this podcast is helping me do. My mission statement is to help heal myself and others with comedy and any other way I can. I'm studying therapeutic humor. I'm learning a lot about it, although nothing I didn't really already know intuitively. It just sort of validates what we already know. I love these peer-reviewed studies that people do. I'm so grateful people do these peer-reviewed studies because I just rely on my anecdotal evidence of one. Old Nance. That's the old Nance method. And I'm Nancy Norton. I am a stand-up comedian. I'm a keynote speaker. I talk about the power of humor, why we need it. I love going to healthcare conferences, business conferences. We talk about all the benefits of humor, how it helps us. Traumedy is just one of the things that helps. Traumedy is not a replacement for trauma therapy, but it will help you get by between sessions. This is part 2. If you listen to part 1, you might want to listen to part 1 first with Katie Mason. This is part 2 with Katie Mason. And I just really had a great time. I don't know if I've laughed this hard. I love it. We're just laughing. I think because our muses just like each other, but also, well, we just sort of get each other. If a trauma survivor has a great sense of humor, oh my gosh, my favorite people. Hey, what is it? How do I start this? How's it go? Yeah. Hey. I know this. I've heard this before. Hey.
Oh wow! We're about to get into something. I think
that got me so good. I think it healed something. I healed something in my back. One of those knives in my back. Took that out. I take knives out of my back.
Oh yeah.
Stir them into a chalice of love and drink. Okay. I love that you think I'm joking.
I know. I know that you're not.
Try it. You ever do it? You ever take
No, I've never done that.
All right. We're going to start off with taking a knife out of our back. Just pull it out. One of the knives of betrayal. Stir it into all the love of the universe and keep swirling it. It's like a smelting. It turns into a chalice.
Oh.
And it just is full of love. And then you just drink it.
Oh.
Thank you.
That's lovely.
Thank you for that betrayal. Gratitude for betrayal. Yeah, you thought you got me?
Yeah.
Actually, you gave me
a chalice of love.
A chalice of love.
That's lovely.
Yeah. I mean, on a good day.
Yeah.
I do that. On the bad days, I take it out and go, fuck you.
And stab them back.
I do.
Yeah.
But then it's like, sorry, I want to just take any of that back. Woo! That was you or not. That was not you.
Yeah.
That did not go in. Okay. All right. Loving universe.
Loving universe.
Loving Mother Earth.
Chalice of love.
Chalice of love. Welcome back to a Chalice of Love. That's the new podcast. Chalice of Love.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to Traumedy. That's what it is. Welcome to Traumedy. My guest, Katie Mason, licensed professional counselor and mentor, dream therapist, comedian, keynote speaker, and many, many, many. I mean, we can't we're not a label.
Yeah.
Many more things. But those are a couple of important things I value. Gifts and offerings that you offerings.
Yeah, offerings.
These are the offerings that you bring to the world.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. It's so good to be here.
It's so good to have you. I love your energy. I love your muses. I feel like our muses like playing together, and I want to play more often. So I'm hopeful.
Yeah,
I have a good feeling.
Yeah, me too.
I have a good feeling. We're gonna do some stuff. I see the Traumedy tour coming.
Oh yeah.
Now, for those of you who were listening last week, I wanted to share a dream that has been a recurring dream since I would say my 20s, maybe even earlier, where I believe when I am embarking on a new chapter in my life, something that really matters to me, but I'm a little scared about, I will say that this is what I know. That dream and another one, which is an airplane dream, where I'm on an airplane that crashes, but somehow at the end, I don't die.
Yeah.
But it feels like I am about to die.
Yeah.
So yeah, those kind of falling, fear, elevators out of control.
But in this dream, the elevator's going up.
Yeah, the elevators go, well, and this one was wild because this dream, I was like an independent, somehow it was almost like I was on a hovercraft or a drone or something. I didn't even know what I was on. It was like a platform that was, I knew I was driving it, but I wasn't even inside the shaft of the elevator. I was outside the shaft.
Oh,
there's something there Freud would like.
Yeah.
Transcending the patriarchy. Keep your shaft to yourself. Okay. I am.
Oh, I'm so glad I have my peppermint tea.
I know. Really, well, I was thinking too, like that show Shaft.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what's weird is I will say I'm also thinking about doing a lot of work on sexual trauma.
Okay.
And I am going to a pelvic floor physical therapist to try to accommodate my boyfriend's shaft.
Oh yeah.
So it could be, I don't know, dude, there's a lot there.
Well, there's always multiple layers to a dream. So there's never just one. That's why I was saying earlier, I don't like dream interpretation or dream analysis per se, because it suggests getting to the answer. Yeah. And it's more about developing a relationship with the images so that they can, I think the dream is alive and it's trying to reveal itself to you.
Oh, I love that.
So we have to learn to be in relationship with the images, not just understand them. Understanding them is trying to say we put them in the box of our, little analytical brain, rather than be the artist that's with the muse in this
and
case.
Co-creating with higher consciousness.
Exactly.
Is that okay that I said that?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So I always start with that. One is you are the only expert on your dream. So I can know whatever if I offer anything, if it doesn't ever resonate, it doesn't matter because it's not my dream.
Okay.
So I might offer questions or reflections, but only you can know what the dream represents or means or what it offers you. Yeah. And that's so important because you are the authority on your life, on yourself. And so that's another reason I don't like just to come in and be like, this is what the dream means.
Okay.
Which is there's a lot of that out there. And
on TikTok, especially.
On TikTok.
Go to TikTok. Look at the dictionary. Elevator clearly means that I am afraid of failure. But I do wonder, like, here's what just came to me. Ooh,
yeah, go ahead.
Can I share what just came to me? Just because of the way you posed that openness question, I was like, ooh, having dialogue with it. Because I felt like it was saying, have more fun with your exhilaration. Like I also was just talking to my spiritual mentor. I said, I think I'm scared about, like, I've let myself be under the thumb of my mother, the thumb of comedy club owners who also remind me of my mother, and then the thumb of other people. Yeah. And that, I mean, there's a comfort in that. Like, oh, I can't.
It's familiar.
I can't succeed because my mom wrote me a suicide note the day I was going to tape Evening at the Improv, and said I was a cruel daughter. Like that was I say, well, that did thwart my ambition to be on television. But again, I trust her, and I'm like, yeah, I could have turned out like Ellen and been a bitch to everybody, which I can just be a bitch in my smaller community. Yeah. No, okay, stop. I'll edit that out. Okay.
Don't.
Double dare.
Yeah.
But that's like, there's something there where I can like, ooh, there's this force, like my mother going, you think you're all that? You think you can tell people these things? Do you think people really care about what you say, Nancy?
Yeah.
You know, like there's that. And then there's like, oh, and then I'm terrified. Like I just realized this fear that I'm going to cause harm. Like I don't want to have this, because I feel like I'm getting more and more reach to people. And like, I don't want to cause harm. I don't want to hurt anybody with, acting like I know something.
So what you're doing now just sort of naturally is like free association of this dream. You're just kind of like letting what comes to you by holding the image at play, the first sort of thoughts. And that's one way to start working with the dream. And what are the first things that I think about when I'm relating to this image? And then we want to play with the thoughts or the intuitions that have the most charge. So it's a discernment process of, is that a heady kind of, interesting thought, or is that like a deep sort of churning thought that is like
landing in my body somewhere?
In my body. So normally if we were actually working this out the way I regularly would, I'd probably take you into some guided meditation where I had you re-visualize the dream while I'm talking you through it, so I can help you notice where are you really activated in your body, because that is going to give us another layer of information of what the dream is guiding you to. So we can try that now. It's, might be difficult for you to fully drop in, but that would be what I would tend to do, is to try to get into the somatics of the dream.
Yeah.
Because that is where the unconscious layer of like input is. And we want to get deeper and deeper into the unconscious layering of it, because that gives us information that we're not aware of. And when we can tap into that and bring it to light, it doesn't have a hold of us anymore. So the dream will change.
Yes. And I feel it wants to.
Yeah, well, it of course it does, because the reoccurring dream especially.
Yeah, and I'm feeling, I love this idea about doing a guided meditation, but I also don't know if it's interesting to other people.
Yeah.
One thing.
Well, what we could do is we could put a pin in that. That's one thing that I would encourage you. We could like talk off air more about that.
Okay.
But I can also just drop in other ways to work with the dream. And then what you could do is you could go play with the dream, and then you can just have me back on another time and we could just talk it through another time or like something like that.
Do a dream episode.
Yeah.
That's fully dream episode. I've done, we talked in the kitchen. I always reference the talk in the kitchen. We were talking about Brainspotting and EMDR and some of those other trauma therapies where you cross midline.
Yeah.
So that helps you break through the I call it encapsulated trauma. I don't know if that's the right term, but for me, it helps me get out of the brain into the body.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And
I like that term. I've never heard it phrased that way, but I think it works.
I don't know why. I just picture it like it's in a little nut, like a little nutshell, and it's like cracks that little nut open, but it's stuck. Yeah, the way I just picture those neurons, kind of a little bundle, like so tight, like, and I know it's a survival skill, right?
Yeah.
So that we can respond quickly to a threat is what I understand about PTSD. In my limited knowledge, or maybe what I've made up about it. It's hard to say, but I've done at least a decade of different kinds of trauma therapies. I've been, like yesterday when I went to trauma therapy or regular therapy, I was like, I want to put on the bilateral music and just do what my former therapist taught me to do with Brainspotting, because my current therapist doesn't do that, but I don't need her to be able to do it. I can do it.
Yeah.
And then talk with her and access.
That's beautiful, because you get to direct also what you do in therapy.
Yeah.
So you get to say, okay, I want to do this. I get that's not what you do, but this is what I want to do. So this is what we're going to do.
And then I've done it enough that I can find my resource spot and I can find my trigger spot. And then I could definitely do that with this dream.
Yeah,
another,
for sure.
A time.
The music is one of the ways that, it's called dream reentry. So it's a process. I use music myself, and I enter the dream from awakening. So, you know, I close my eyes, I get restful, and then I'm going back into the dream and I'm exploring it from this waking state, looking for what images are really grabbing me? Where does my body feel the most disoriented, or where's the most emotional charge? And then teaching myself to breathe into that and see what releases.
Okay.
Because there's probably something underneath that exhilaration and fear.
Yes.
Right? And if we can get underneath that, then the exhilaration and fear will dissipate. Maybe it's, who knows what it is? I don't know. But if we can access the other emotion, then the clarity comes. We have to get to the emotion first. But what our mind wants to do is it wants to understand the image first. But a lot of times we have to settle into the emotion first. And then there's like this awakening about what the image is trying to teach us.
I'm excited to do that.
Yeah.
Because it has been, how many, 40 years of this dream.
I've worked with somebody who had a recurring dream for 40 years. And in one session, just going into it consciously the way I'm telling you, he never had that same dream again.
Yeah.
And this was a reoccurring nightmare. So, he didn't necessarily want to have it again.
Yeah. And what I'd love, I just felt my senses, what I'd love is to be enjoying and feeling, even if I fall, I'm okay. Like, even if I fall, I'm not going to die. Like, part of me will never die. Then that's part, I don't know.
Right. So one of the things that I would encourage you to do that you may already know to do when I guide people back into their dreams with an image is I resource them with another image first.
Okay.
Like an animal, for example.
Oh.
So that they can feel a sense of safety.
Maybe have a guardian there.
Yeah.
Or for me, it's almost like it's in Harry Potter, I think, when he's at the top of that tower. Is it Dumbledore? Is that Harry Potter? I always confuse those two, like Gandalf and Dumbledore. But you know what I'm saying?
I'm confusing them now too.
You know, one of them, there's one of those films. Yeah. I don't even know which one it is. That's terrible. But there's a gray-haired guy up on top of a tower, and he's like falling, and that just reminds me of that dream so much. And then, but this winged animal, right, swoops in and like saves him, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm making all this up, but
it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. But that's what I want, is a winged, like, I want something that'll swoop in and like make sure I don't splat. Okay. Interrupt this program for the nerds, because, and not just nerds, but whatever, I don't know, the Lord of the Rings and the Harry Potter fans out there. I know this is very irritating to you that I cannot discern the difference between a Gandalf and a Dumbledore. So I had to talk to my son and my nephew, who told me for sure, Dumbledore. Well, no spoilers. Okay, if you don't want to hear a spoiler, listen, just going to take 5 seconds. Just close your ears for 5 seconds if you have not seen Lord of the Rings. Gandalf escapes Isengard on the back of an eagle. I've already spoiled it. Who gives a shit? Somebody out there does. And I am so sorry. Okay, so but I love the idea of having a resource when we go into our nightmares or when we go into our trauma. That is a big, important part, is to have, first of all, a resource, a safe place. And that is what I was talking about with Brainspotting, is you have an activation spot, but I also have a resource spot. And then a lot of times when you're doing trauma therapy, like EMDR, you have something like a container, where it's like, okay, I've had a lot of that right now, or just so it doesn't, when it pops up and you're like, you know what, I can't deal with that right now, I'm going to put it in a container. And you can pick the most beautiful container. And it's amazing thing to have. What is another thing? Oh, the thing that I'm doing with trauma therapy right now, going into some traumas and learning how to titrate the pain with kind of what we call butterfly hugs, where you're tapping each shoulder with your hands and trying to breathe and not get too activated. And the goal, of course, is at some point to talk about a trauma without getting so overwhelmed by it. So that's what I'm learning to do in my therapy right now, using the bilateral music, which I choose David Grand. I think it's on my playlist on one of my Spotify page. I don't know, man. My Spotify, I have my album on one Spotify, and I have this podcast on another Spotify, and then I just have as a consumer, I think it's like Nancy Norton's Brainspotting playlist. But maybe I can put a link to that. I don't know how to do that, but let me see. Like, I want something that'll swoop in and like make sure I don't splat.
Symbolically, you're wanting that in the dream, and then there's probably a tie to how you want that in your life.
Yes.
And that would be so if
I want to know I'm not gonna splat.
Yeah, and you want to
today anyway.
And so then I would work with you on creating an action plan for what that meant. Like I do get very practical at the end of dream work, like, because it is meant to be integrated into our waking life. It's not meant to be like, oh, that's so interesting. It's like, no, what are the steps you're gonna take now, having this newfound knowledge that was revealed to you in a dream? You
have no idea. I'm getting this.
Oh, good.
Like, this is really helpful to me because, yes, I am terrified of failure, terrified of success and the fall.
Yeah, well, the elevator's going up too, so that is, that is significant. Like, usually when we're going up, it's more like, we're coming into higher levels of consciousness versus, the basement of a house might be more representative of our unconscious, parts of ourselves that are really repressed. This feels more like things are coming to light. And there's an awareness building around that, but there's so much energy and not a grounded balance or something like that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But again, that's
Katie.
just my experience, and you can take that, and if it sits, great. If it doesn't,
nah, it does.
And
also, I love this idea of putting something practical in place in my real life so that I feel more confident to take more chances.
Yeah.
Because I've been on the slowest learning curve of all time in stand-up comedy.
I don't know. I might be... I don't know. Mine's pretty slow.
We could arm wrestle over it.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That was wonderful. And something else just hit me. It was another offering that you have that maybe you mentioned, because there's dream, there's mentorship, there's the
speaking or the performance.
Does anything else want to be expressed about your offerings that you'd like to share, or traumedy you'd like to share?
Well, I did bring a joke that I could, on video if we wanted to talk about it, that I thought just really kind of, I think it just represents a lot of things.
Okay. Do we want to hear it, want to play it?
Yeah.
And then we talk about it?
Sure.
Okay. All right, cool. Haiti Mason performing comedy. Where are you in this one? Do you know, or do you want to say?
Yeah, this is actually, so this bit is in my Fear and Grief show, but I think I was performing at the Denver Improv for this one. But
okay.
Yeah, it's just one joke, but I was trying to decide what to share, and there's just so many layers to this joke, and it took me so long to write it, and it's not even expressing a quarter of what I'm trying to express, but it helped me relieve some of the pain I was holding around this particular part of my childhood. So,
oh, great.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's interesting to hear. Like, it took you really worked on trying to boil it down, to distill it down and get the perfect, succinct
And I'll share
expression.
more after you hear it, because we can talk about it.
Here we go.
It's no surprise I ended up a therapist because I was such a rescuer as a kid. Like toads, turtles, baby rabbits, anything that could fit in a murky green tank. By the time I was 8, I was already a burnt-out social worker. Exhausted on the porch, knocking back a Capri Sun. Crying, I can't save the worms from their pain. Come to find out later, worms don't actually feel pain. No, first lesson in projection.
Oh, man, I relate to that so much. And I want to debate you on whether worms feel pain.
Yeah,
I actually did see a study about them feeling pain.
Yeah.
So, all right, oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Already a burnout social worker at age 8.
Yeah.
You're trying to save all the little...
Yeah, well, what's interesting about this joke is that, and the reason I chose it was because I'd been trying to write about a whole other thing, which was, I already shared about my parents and their glorious mess. And they, I was a very highly sensitive kid, like super, super sensitive. And they, one of the ways they dealt with me is just by pacifying me with animals.
Oh, really?
Which is like a terrible parenting technique. Like Bob's Animal Kingdom was, not far. So I'd go there and I would just like, I would want to save all these animals. And they said yes.
Oh my gosh. So you actually adopted a lot of animals?
Everything. I'm talking gerbils, chinchillas, birds, dogs, fish. I mean, it was, and then of course this is like, if you're sensitive to images of animals, like a trigger warning.
I am actually. I don't know if I can even hear it. I might have to do a timeout.
Yeah,
I actually might have to do a timeout. I am so sensitive to it.
Yeah,
like I literally. Like it's one of the things where I even thinking about doing traumedy, I thought, gosh, I hate to put a limitation on this podcast, but that I don't want to hear, I don't know if I can hear any sad animal. Isn't that, that's limiting. Like that's why I can't be a therapist because there's things like.
It's funny. This is good. I'm glad we're actually talking about this because I'd been debating over what I wanted to share, like what jokes I wanted to share, but this one felt like the most interesting because of how layered it was. But I did wonder, is it because I actually didn't write a joke about the real experience?
Oh,
I couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah.
But I was able to write this joke, which is a little bit more removed.
Yeah.
And it was able to release some of it.
Yeah.
So, but
can we just know that there is a really, really sad animal behind this story?
There's many. Yeah. And so
now I'm sorry. Now, how does that feel? Like I feel like I'm shutting you down, but I'm also like, I'm putting a boundary where it's like, I get like even that worm. I got to tell you, as a kid, putting a worm on a hook.
Oh yeah.
And then I do a thing on my dry bar special about fishing with my dad and trying to talk about compassion around the fish. And he literally told me, "Oh, don't worry, little girl. They have no nerve endings around their mouth." And I'm like, okay. And I believed him at the time. And then I literally hooked my dad in the mouth. Yeah. Okay. Like that was a weird karmic moment. Like I accidentally, I'm like,
awesome.
What are the odds?
Yeah.
But this worm thing too, because I remember hearing a study about worms and like they demonstrate, I'm not going to go into detail, but it literally caused me pain just hearing that. Because I thought, no.
I protested in 7th grade because we dissect worm, and I walked out in protest.
Oh, I love that you did that.
So,
I love that. You can be a conscientious objector. I told my son, and he was in his science class, I did dissect things in anatomy and physiology that give me nightmares to this day.
Yeah.
Nightmares. Like I still wake up going, I'm so sorry.
Well, and there's also the recognition that a lot of my rescuing of these animals in my childhood was because, one, I was a sensitive, empathic kid, love animals, that was going to be the case no matter what. But it's also because I was just needing love.
Yeah.
So the projection of the
attunement.
Yeah. So that final piece was like, that was my first lesson in projection, was the recognition that part of my healing process was to be like, oh, when I'm rescuing everything out there, it's a way I'm projecting my needs onto.
You wanted someone to rescue you.
Probably, or just to be like,
care about you.
Yeah. Pay attention to me.
Nurture.
Yeah.
Care, nurture.
Exactly.
What do you need? I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get this. Although I did not do that with animals, but I now just have this place in my heart for animals. I identify with them.
Yeah, me too.
Which is, I don't know, like to a point where that's why I'm like, oh, wait, that'll hurt me too much.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my consciousness, and that's something I want to work on boundaries around.
Animal trauma is something that we don't talk about enough.
Yeah.
There is a lot of it. Loss, pet loss,
I know.
all of that.
And they're family members.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like they're beyond a lot. They're better than family members.
My dog, I remember crying to Portia, my dog, when I was 6, like, "You're my only friend." It sounds so sad, but it was true. I was like, she's the only one who gets me. And that's how I felt with a lot of these animals. But when I was able to get to a place of this, the joke, it was like, oh my God, yeah, like this idea that I've just been this social worker since I was 8, like that image was a little bit liberating from the heaviness that I carry.
Yeah.
It's a seriousness I have that's like, been working at it since I was born, now I'm just a therapist. Oh yeah, just like working tilling the soil. I have another joke about how serious I am, just always tilling soil.
Yeah. And then here we are, these puppies, these lost puppies that come to you and like, can you help me?
And I'm good at it.
You are good at it.
And there's that recognition that and I've gotten to learn over the years that it's not my responsibility to rescue every animal. I think of as a kid, every worm on the street, it would rain.
Oh yes,
I was picking up every single worm.
I do that still.
I do too.
I still do it.
I do, but I also have a better ability to be like, to trust that like this is bigger than me. It's not on me.
Thank you. That's what I would. This is ironic that there's a lot of synchronicities here. I was, like I said, in therapy yesterday with the headphones on with the bilateral music, and I was talking about my pet losses. And my dog's so old, and I'm so sad that I just see, it's like when you have a friend who's terminal, and none of us are living in this body forever. So, but man, it's really up for me. And then there's a sense of that powerlessness. I think because I'm a voice for the voiceless, because at a time when I had no voice, the things that were done to me, I empathize and I have compassion for any critter, person, being that is trapped and doesn't have a voice to get help.
That's very well said. Yeah.
But then I try to turn it over and like, I don't know what else to do. In my program, we're always like, turn it over to higher power. And then also ask, what is mine to do? And that's the tricky, nuanced,
right.
That whole wisdom to know the difference part.
Yeah.
That's a really complicated.
It is.
And it changes minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day. Like today I'm picking up a lot of worms. I might not do this tomorrow. I might be in a different place where it's like, maybe the birds need a snack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, do you really believe that worms don't feel? Or is it just, did you write that for the punchline?
Yeah, I wrote that as for for just the like tag on that joke, I guess. But I mean, they don't have a nervous system apparently, so they don't have nerve endings, right? Is that the?
I don't know. All I know is I saw this study that they had worms and they were shot. They would they would do something. They would signal them that a shock is coming, and then
they would respond.
And then when they got the signal, the shock was coming.
Yeah.
They definitely tried to do some sort of self-protective maneuver. Now, whether that means they're feeling, I'm just saying there was a response to like, here comes some pain.
I will say that's
projection, right?
I do think we project a lot onto animals.
That's what I need to learn about.
Yeah, I really do.
This is so important for me to learn about.
So it's both and. I think that,
okay, both and.
Animals have souls and they're the wisest creatures around us. And I totally believe all that. And through and through, we project a lot onto animals.
We project our suffering.
Yeah.
I have been told by animal psychics they do not suffer the way we do.
It's often what creates a lot of our suffering is the worrying about the future. A lot of them, I don't know. Well, I guess some of them can, like elephants can remember.
Oh my gosh.
Everything.
The way you've seen those videos where they go and caress the bones of their ancestors.
But even that, we are interpreting what their experiences are. And it's tricky. It's tricky terrain. So
it's tricky terrain.
For me, I've had to learn to sort of pull back a little and really get clear on how do I know what's mine and what isn't.
Yes. And that could be a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
Tricky terrain.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Tricky Terrain.
Tricky Terrain and what was it? Chalice of Love.
I needed to hear this today because I can't believe how many synchronicities. And again, I selfishly am saying this podcast is healing me. I don't know. How about you out there? I don't know. I hope it's bringing gifts to you. I love that if it is, but I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
Because this is something, when you ended that with that, it almost just devalued the rest of the bit for me. Like I was just like,
Well, and for me, that line was important because what I was wanting to get to an empowered place with writing this joke, not from the place of, oh my gosh, this trauma, it's going to take me out. And like, I wanted something to feel release. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't really know. I've never been a worm. I don't actually really know what's going on for them. And yet I was convinced for most of my life that I did.
Yeah, that's a good point. Man, this is weird. I was just saying that yesterday. Like, I know my dog does not, like, again, I don't think she fears death. Obviously, they move away from death if they can. We have witnessed that. We know that they have a life force. They want to live.
They have survival mechanisms.
They have survival mechanisms. But I don't know that her consciousness fears death the way my ego does. Like, consciousness doesn't die, right? So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
All I was saying was I should not underestimate, like, I should not put my limited beliefs on this dog for sure, or any other animal or a worm.
Well, and I just want to feel a bit more liberated from how much pain I have felt empathizing with the animals of my past and my childhood and or period.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to, you know what? And I can prematurely grieve a sweater in the street.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? Where it's like, oh no. Yeah. I go through the whole Kubler-Ross. I'm like, no, shock and disbelief, anger. Somebody hit a raccoon. And then it's like, it's a sweater. Somebody lost a sweater. And that's, but I get what you're saying, because okay, so what are we really doing when are we trying to not have our own pain? Is it easier to have theirs? Is it easier to go outside of ourselves and go, oh, that creature?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Or do I want to be in a position of power? Or
I'm
trying to ask myself that.
I mean, I think maybe yes and yes. And like this circle back to the dreams, because like I'll have dreams now. I know where I'm at and taking care of myself, because I'll have dreams that these animals from my past are healthy and alive and well. But I've had dreams where they weren't, where they were sick or neglected or something. And it's a reflection of where I'm at in relationship to me. So there's some of the most powerful dreams that I now have. So they are, I think I was often projecting my own loneliness and despair and, just desperation onto them.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it. And at the same time, I'm like a little animal whisperer, and I have a deep, soul connection with animals, and that is also true. But I'm learning to just have a little bit more like, separation, I guess, and like the compassion versus empathy kind of thing, so that I'm not lost in them, and that I'm really checking myself. And if I feel my feelings, a lot of times I'll be able to see more neutrally. If they're suffering, let's say, I'll be able to see it like a little bit more like, yeah, they're suffering, but I'm not like plagued by it.
You don't have to be in their body empathizing with it. That is what, and also I feel like as a recovering codependent, I'm telling that animal, person, or whatever that I'm trying to help, that they can't help themselves, or that they're not on their own divine life path.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't, my suffering was a divine part of my life path. Shall I trust that this is theirs?
Exactly.
And that is where I'm like, let me interrupt your life path. Like even in, when I was in Nepal and India, and they have the caste system, and they are very much about, you'll see people on the streets, and it's not cool to help people because you're interrupting their karma.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what? And then there are actually packs of dogs on the streets of Nepal. And I want to tell you, I'm not going to go into any detail, but I tried to help a dog and caused it harm. And it's like, Nancy, you thought you knew better. You thought you knew how to help that dog, and you actually harmed it in the process. Wow, this is good. Okay. Yeah. Now I feel like I stripped all the funny out of that. I'm like, oh yeah,
I know.
I was with you.
Probably me that stripped all the funny out of it.
No, it was me. I know, because I'm like, no, man, I want to debate you on the worm thing.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, can you please change the joke for me to end with? And turns out,
but this is why I brought it, because it's not the funniest joke I've ever told, but I brought it because I thought it would create some interesting dialogue, which I think it did.
It did. Yeah. But and I do love that we're having this conversation.
Yeah, me too.
And also, Like so much. Oh my gosh. Everything that you've shared has just, it rings true. It's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.
So much.
Thank you.
And as a can I help control the end of that joke because here's how, can I tell you how I want it to end?
Okay.
All right. Turns out it's not going to be funnier. It's just going to make me comfortable.
Okay, well, take care of yourself right now.
This is for my controlling codependent friend who can't stand that I say they don't feel pain. Okay, and they do have 5 hearts. We know that because I did actually. I was not a conscientious objector, so I did see the 5 hearts. But I have to live with it. But the point is, what is the point? Oh, I wanted you to. How would it go if it was like? And it turns out this goes back to my dad saying they have no nerve endings, which I think my dad might have been right about the nerve endings. I need to Google that.
Yeah, that's what I think happens supposedly with worms is they don't have a central nervous system in the same way we do. So then they don't have the nerve endings to feel the pain.
Right. Okay.
I think don't.
And that will totally ruin the joke if you can go into detail for me. And just
let me explain real quick why I'm saying this.
Turns out that worms don't even have nerve endings like a central nervous system. And that brings us back to plants because my dad, he used to mock my vegetarianism. I mean, that man's love language was putting meat on your plate because he grew up so poor. He lived on squirrels. And he was like, if I can put a ham or a big fatty animal on your plate, that's love. And I would say, no, thank you. May I have some beans? And he finally started making beans for me, which he called hamless beans. And they were good. He would even say, these hamless beans are really good. But the point is, what was the point? Dang it.
You had a different ending for the joke for me?
Well, it was the no nerve endings. And then he would mock and he would say to my son, who's eating a vegetarian meal because I'm his mother. He happens to eat what I eat usually. Yeah. And he's telling my son, like, when he's biting into a carrot, oh, ouch, doesn't that hurt the carrot? And he's mocking us like, the carrot has nerve endings. Like, he's pretending like you're being, he's obviously doing a satire, making fun
being
of snarky about compassion. Oh, doesn't that hurt that carrot when you bite into it like that? And I was like, Dad, even if it did, the cow eats 6 times the plants to get the same protein. So we're still saving, even if the carrots are hurting, we're sparing 5 extra carrots.
Yeah.
So,
no. I love what this joke did to you. I do.
Yeah. Well, what did it do to you, though? How are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah. No, I
know I was supposed to lead us towards closure at 40 minutes, so you got to meet a friend.
Yeah, we can start wrapping up.
Yeah. Bringing this back into the station.
Slowing down the wagon.
Whoa.
No, you just got to pull back on the rein.
This has been invaluable. Katie, Mason, thank you. Seriously, thank you so much.
I'm so glad we did this.
Yeah,
I can't wait to do more play.
Yes, we're going to do more play, and I am looking forward to connecting with you.
Yeah, and I would love for, maybe you can come to our show.
Oh, we didn't talk about it in this segment at all.
This segment, yeah. Well, March 30th at the Dairy, I'm performing with Andrew Vall and Elena McMillan. It's a show called Life, a delightful show about fear and grief. Stand-up comedy, poetry, stories, all to express our experiences of fear and grief.
Yeah, and that is at the Dairy Art Center for Creativity in Boulder.
Yes.
I just looked up their whole name. I love that.
Yeah.
The Dairy Art Center for Creativity in Boulder.
March 30th.
Yeah.
It's a really special show. So.
I want to see it. I haven't seen it yet. So I'm hoping to come out to that one.
Sure.
Last one you did was negative 12 degrees. And you had a sold out show. People showed
amazing.
up. I did not.
Yeah,
I was thinking about it. I said, I'm off tonight. What are the odds?
I can't believe anybody came. It was so cold that night.
I did not even try to start my car. Full transparency.
That's okay.
But this one,
good for you.
This one sounds like a good one. I'm actually doing a show the day before, March 29th. Come to both of them. I'm doing Nurses Off the Charts.
At the Dairy Art Center.
At the Dairy Art Center.
For what is it?
Oh, the Dairy Art Center for Creativity.
For creativity. Beautiful.
Co-creating.
Yeah, come out to see Nancy and then
bring a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
And stay in the lobby. Yeah, back-to-back shows.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah, it's wonderful that that's all happening on the same weekend. Thank you, Katie, for taking all this time.
My pleasure.
I realized I never did write a different ending to her joke, which I think is just as well. Here's what I think I was going to say. It was something like, turns out the worms don't feel pain the way I do, and they're more codependent than me. Because worms, look at what they do for us. They till the soil, they condition the soil, they make it so it drains better. I mean, they're called the gardener's best friend. The number of earthworms is directly related to the health of the soil. Although I was reading so much about worms, I opened a huge can of worms. I really did. That's why you tune in to Traumedy. You want to know about worms. I started reading. If you read like the Minnesota conservation page, it's an invasive species. The earthworm is not indigenous to that far north, and apparently undermines the diversity of the forest. It causes problems with hardwood forests. The earthworm north of Pennsylvania came over with the Europeans on ships and root balls of trees. I don't know, man. And okay, correction. I thought they had 5 hearts. They don't have hearts per se. They're pairs of little pumps, they're hearts. It's like, but some people say they have 10 hearts. 5 pairs of little blood pumping centers. What else do you want to know about earthworms? Nothing, probably. Just know that it's a little controversial. I found some articles that said they do feel pain. Also, fish do feel pain. I don't know. I mean, they're a vertebrate, and they definitely they don't have an emotional. What do they know? What do we know? All I'm saying is, all I can go by is my conscience, and my conscience right now just would rather avoid. I'd have a hard time digging up my garden. I really do. I do not like when I cut into a worm when I'm digging my garden. I know they're the gardener's best friend, but then we till we cut them up with a tiller and a shovel. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. This is how you treat your best friend? Is that your best friend? I don't know. Is that how you treat your best friend? I'm not sure. Okay, I want to thank my guest, Katie Mason. Go see Katie at the Dairy Art Center in Boulder, Colorado, March 30th, if you're in Colorado. And check out Nurses Off the Charts. You can go to my Linktree page, and I'm going to start touring that nationally, but the next show is March 29th. It's going to be a hopping weekend at the Dairy in Boulder, Colorado. Oh, I want to always thank my son who created the music, and he did make some new music. I don't know. I really like this one. It's familiar, and it feels perfect for Traumedy. Oh, tune in next week. Oh my God, next week is going to be so interesting. Another amazing Traumedy episode. Next week we have a polyamorous quad. Yeah, a quad on the pod. And it's going to be so fun. We're going to talk about all the things around how do you deal with jealousy in a quad? How do you deal with jealousy in general? And even coupling. Oh, I will be having Pete McGraw on soon about the solo life. There's just so many ways to find love in this world. Living solo, being in a couple, being in a throuple. So it's going to be so interesting next week. Tune in and listen to the quad on the pod. And yes, we may or may not have gone to bed together. Photos to follow. Okay. Okay. Thanks for listening. Thanks for helping me heal myself. I hope I'm healing others. Let me know how this is landing with you, if it's helping you. Please give me your feedback. I'm hearing from some of you that it is helping, and that I'm hearing from others who are wanting to be guests. And so it looks like, hey, there's a bottomless pit of trauma and there's a bottomless pit of Traumedy. Let's keep shifting the dark into the light. Love yourselves always. And selfishly, let me be honest, I want you to love yourself, because then you'll love everyone around you. Talk about those butterfly hugs. You know, it's like the ripple effect. You know, as we love ourselves, we love everyone, and that includes me. So it's just very selfish that I want you to love yourself so that you love me. We're all part of the one. That is my pronoun, one, the gender neutral indefinite pronoun. Okay, time for closure. Let's have closure. Let's have closure. Tune in every Tuesday. Except when I take a vacation. It's Traumedy Tuesdays. Every Tuesday. Yeah, that's how that works. Traumedy every Tuesday. No matter what, keep laughing.